All right, Maximus Analysis here for September 24th, 2015, and we can see that they were going down, they went to around the 1900 mark on the ES, and then 115, they turned it on in a major way. Looking at the 15-day, you can see that 15-minute, that they pretty much ran it up. Now we're in about overbought territory, so we want to see what happens overnight and where we're going to go, because again, if they have a gap down or they continue with some selling and maybe not hold this 114, this 1914 level, we could see some more additional selling. So we kind of just want to see where this one goes. NQ looked pretty good. It had a lot of help from a lot of the, specifically actually Netflix was a huge $5 move on that one today. Again, if you see this break of this high, we see we're at this 50% retracement level. So if they get above that, maybe we see some more highs, or at least getting back into around this area here. But let's look at the weekly time frame to make sure that we're not missing anything. So they gave the sell signal, and we're kind of like in no man's land because of how sideways we were for this, basically this entire year, and they're still not above it. So if they close, let's say they negate a lot of this and close near the lows, which tomorrow will be the key to know where we're going to go, then they continue for more sell signals, which you're looking at about 3 to 5 weeks down. So tomorrow will be critical in seeing where they're going to go, up or down. We have the YM. YM is probably the worst one out of the crew because they're way below the 50% mark, and they're way below this previous buy signal here that was kind of like support, and they broke down. So they're not even close to this yet. So even if they pop it up to that 17,000 level, it still would be considered a good short, actually probably getting into overbought territory around there. IWM, pretty much the same thing, that we could have a flag or a quick 1, 2, 3 bar up to maybe about September 30th, and then we could get down, especially if the volume starts to wane on the way up. Crude sideways. Okay, it's annoying, but I'm not picking a side here because it's just staying in this tight range. Okay, for crude, this is a very tight range. You have from 50, so $6 range on crude holding from the beginning of September is a tight ass range. So again, we've seen these before. We try to make sure we use the high probability of what side our trend is on. So we've seen tight range here, break to the downside, tight range here. And I even waited. I got a little late than I typically like to, because I was just like, I don't know where this thing is going to go, and continue to the downside here. So we're in that same situation, and I don't want to get caught out there. So continue to kind of look at it. Netflix had a huge day up, $5 move up. Want to see if they're going to have any follow through to the upside. Remember, keep that weekly on there, because want to see if we have some volume following through, because right now it's weak volume, and we want them to stay above this low. This low is 93.61. We want them to stay above that at least by tomorrow. That would give us some hope on that weekly time frame. We had Apple. Apple again is holding this 50% of the range that we had going down, and if they pop above like this 117 level, we'll see if they can make it even to the 200, which is around 121.50. So we'll continue to look at that one and not get over anxious or overzealous either way. Again, you have a nice layer here of Amazon. So Amazon could be a nice buy for tomorrow for at least a couple days. And that looks good. Again, we've had this. I wish I could have said I knew this was going to layer out exactly like this, but they tapped it. And of all the names, this one has actually looked the same, staying in this higher band of the swing. So again, if you put the swing down, you can see that they have sized this anomaly that happened. They have held above that 50 for a little while now. So now you get your retrace, your 3-bar retrace against some previous support. Let's see if they got any juice for tomorrow for this one. Again, a gap down negates that hammer, or a break of that low negates the hammer. And we might look to see if they continue for some upside, or they go back to the downside for some more downside potential. You had FB. Actually looking pretty good. Same type of scenario here. We want to see Now they have increasing volume, but let's see if they can break above this high and stay above this high, and they might be able to get to 100. Again, I'm glad I took the short off this day because it was just an overbought type of play, not something I would recommend as well. But they've been catching bids, so let's see if they have some more juice to the upside. Let's see if we're looking on the weekly to see if we're missing anything. Let's see. Not really. Just want to see them stay where they are. So again, you see the volume kind of waning off. We got to see where we are and how they close this candle, because again, a break this low next week could mean some continuing selling, because again, all the charts you see this huge spike down on this last week of August. We all know what happened then, so it's kind of almost like an anomaly that we want to make sure that we're looking at if this is getting tired or if this is going to be continuing for more upside. So let's see how it goes. And again, it's been a pretty exciting week to say the least. Let's see where they close this thing out tomorrow. Take care.